She's not taking a stand. She's a clickbait cockroach. Every time you click on her video, she profits.
Young boy after young boy after young boy, how harmful is that when you are silent and you want me to be quiet?
This isn't about morality for her. It appears that she's chosen to amplify this controversy as an opportunity to revitalize her struggling YouTube channel.
I take great privilege that God would call me to this moment of account. I am proud to be here. I will not be silent. I will not allow Jonathan and Susie to be sitting alone, undefended by those that Daystar made great.
The truth is, she's using Jonathan and Susie, and they don't even know.
Ever since the Daystar drama involving Joni Lamb, Jonathan, and Susie Lamb kicked off, one person who has boldly taken a stand is Laura-Lynn Tyler Thompson. She's been using her platform to expose the hidden cracks in the Daystar empire and shine a spotlight on the issue. From announcing her decision to leave the Daystar TV network to hosting interviews with key individuals, including ex-staff of Daystar, Laura-Lynn has been giving a voice to people who might not have been heard otherwise. Her efforts have uncovered perspectives and stories that many wouldn't have known about, but this hasn't gone over well with Daystar's leadership. Predictably, they've turned their attention toward Laura, accusing her of being a clickbait cockroach, just trying to profit off Daystar and Joni Lamb's name on YouTube.
Now I want to address some of the lies that have been circulating online. Let me start with one that really bugs me. Laura-Lynn Tyler Thompson. In the past 2 weeks, she has made multiple false claims. But why would she be doing this? Well, first of all, she's been misleading people to believe that she took some sort of strong moral stand of coming off of Daystar's international network, when that is not true. She was part of our local network in Canada for 26 days. Just 26 days. What the public doesn't know is that Laura-Lynn admitted to knowing about Jonathan and Susie's plan to go public with a smear campaign and appears to have coordinated her own publicity stunt announcing that she was coming off Daystar to position herself as a voice of integrity and capitalize on controversy. But then we dug a little deeper, and at the time of her departure, Laura-Lynn was aggressively losing subscribers.
It appears I lost 100 subscribers. 100. That's the aggressive loss, 100. And I mean, I do know I was defending Israel at that time, and people were writing me very upset about it because they were not supportive of Israel because of Gaza and all of that. And I was coming out strong, for the support of Israel, and they have a right to be a nation, and that's their people and stuff like that. So I did lose a few, but that's not really an aggressive loss. It's about 100 people, guys.
It came to light last week that in October, her YouTube channel had 5,000 total views and earned nothing, $0. But after she started using Daystar and Joni Lamb's name, her YouTube jumped to 2.7 million views in the past 4 weeks and made an estimated $13,400.
Isn't that just so exciting? I had no idea that I was getting so many views. So I'm glad that they're doing the analytics on this. So let's talk about YouTube for a minute and why I had no views. In the last 4 years, everyone, I've been talking about things that are not acceptable on this platform. I've been talking about woke culture. I've been talking about medical stuff. It has not been allowed on YouTube. So I did not talk about it. I lost my whole channel actually when, like 3 years ago. I lost the whole channel, and then we had a new young lady come and do some admin for us, and she's just a genius, so she still helps us, so part-time. And she asked for our channel back, and we got our channel back. So the reason that I've never made any money on YouTube, it's not because we're not working our butts off the other side. And, we're on Rumble, we're on 8 different platforms, but YouTube wasn't one of them because they don't accept our content, sir. just like they don't accept a lot of what you guys did during this last little bit. There's certain things you can't put on YouTube. So I never compromised the truth of what I felt God was asking me to speak about in the last 4 years in order to be on YouTube.
She's not taking a stand. She's a clickbait cockroach. Every time you click on her video, she profits. This isn't about morality for her. It appears that she's chosen to amplify this controversy as an opportunity to revitalize her struggling YouTube channel.
Daystar's executive hammer has clearly come down hard, but Laura-Lynn Tyler Thompson isn't one to back down. Despite the voices trying to silence her, she's holding her ground and continuing to speak out. In this next video, Laura-Lynn takes it head on, responding to a pointed email urging her to stay quiet.
So this lady's not happy. Her name is Marilyn Jacobson Martins. And she says, so Laura-Lynn, have you interviewed Joni, Doug, Jimmy Evans, Rachel, and Rebecca, or any other Daystar staff? You know what? I'd love to. And Marilyn, if you would be able to convince them to come on my show, because I can tell you right now, it would not be the Marcus Rogers interview. So nope, you're absolutely correct. I have not been able to interview them regarding the situation to get a complete perspective, because somehow, apparently, we're not getting the complete perspective. Because now, why would we not? Are you aware, Marilyn, that they own a $1 billion industry, and it's media, and they can blast it from the rooftops 6 ways from Sunday what their opinion is, what their perspective is. There's a whole lot of silence right now, and anything that does come out seems to be ridden with lies. Marilyn says, if not, then you do not have the whole picture. My spirit is so bothered by the social media frenzy over this and your role in feeding it. I'm the problem. I get it. I'm the problem. I'm feeding the social media frenzy. A young girl is essayed, allegedly by a family member, and somehow those of us who defend her are the problem. Right, Marilyn? Okay.
The truth is, she's using Jonathan and Susie, and they don't even know it.
You really need to take a step back and ask God to show you your motive in doing this, because it has become a reproach to the name of Christ. See, there again, I'm not really getting what you're saying. I thought a reproach to the name of Christ would be covering up an essay of a child. I don't know what I'm not getting right, but I thought that would be the reproach. So what you're putting out here, I don't get it at all. And I think you're part of the problem. And that's what I wrote back to you, Marilyn. I wrote that back to you. I said, you're part of the cover-up.
She never knew Marcus, but I did. She doesn't know Joni. I do. I worked with Marcus Lamb for decades, and there was no more integrous man I've ever met. All the allegations about him covering up sin are false. He was a man after God's heart and had a vision to reach the world with the good news of Christ. So for those of you tuning in to Laura-Lynn's channel, she's not here to tell the truth. She's here to stir up drama and make money.
So not only that, I believe it is a stench in the nostrils of God. Do you know what? I think sexual abuse is a stench in the nostrils of God, Marilyn. Yes, it is. And you want me to zip it. You want me to clam up. You want Pastor Ray to clam up. You want Ohio for Freedom to clam up. You want Brother John to clam up. I know something about Brother John. He ain't going to clam up, and neither is Pastor Ray or Ohio for Freedom. Nuh-uh. We think that a stench in the nostrils of God is silence in the face of evil. And that's you, Marilyn. Where's your questioning of why there's no justice for a child? What are you doing? You're being silent when we are to expose the evil works of darkness, and you are not doing it. So you then say, This is his department, as in God's department, and I believe he is grieved with people using this family and ministry as fodder for gossip. Ah, so this is gossip. I see. So gossip is when you're repeating things that you can't do anything about, that you really have no business talking about. Do you think it's our business when a child has been harmed? I think it's God's business, because God is he one of the most profoundly violent verses in the Bible is that if you harm a child, you're the one that should have something put around your neck. And I'm wondering, how harmful is it to a child, to many children in the Christian churches, when you're silent? How harmful is it when, like in my situation in the church that I grew up with, a Christian counselor supposedly harmed young boy after young boy after young boy? How harmful is that when you are silent and you want me to be quiet? You're just gossiping, Laura-Lynn. I take great privilege that God would call me to this moment of account. I am proud to be here. I will not be silent. I will not allow Jonathan and Susie to be sitting alone, undefended by those that Daystar made great. So then you say, why? Do you not believe that God is capable of rectifying things that are working and bringing justice where necessary? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And may these be the hands, and may this be the mouth, and may this podcast be the way that God uses to bring justice if necessary.
I've always believed that God works through people, through you, through me, through anyone willing to step up and say, use me, Lord. When you think about it, God has always involved us in his plans. He didn't have to, but he chose to. Look at Moses. God didn't part the Red Sea without Moses stretching out his hands. Or David. He didn't just defeat Goliath because God willed it. He picked up that sling and stone. Even Jesus, when he fed the 5,000, used a young boy's lunch to perform the miracle. It's a pattern, isn't it? God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. So when Laura-Lynn said her podcast could be the hands and mouth God uses to bring justice, I felt that. It's not about being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about being available, about saying, here I am, Lord, send me. At a time like this, when so many major ministries have chosen to stay silent, likely because of what they stand to lose, it's refreshing to see a few brave individuals step forward and say, I'll speak the truth. Whether you agree with everything they say or not, it takes guts to make yourself available for God to use, especially when the stakes are high and criticism is inevitable. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think?